Hello, welcome to a new episode of Geek Lunch Meet. I'm your host Chris. As usual, I thought I'd make a short video today as the SAG-AFTRA strike rumbles on in Hollywood, and some of the studios are starting to sort of delay and put off a lot of their releases for the end of this year. So I thought we'd take a quick look. If you like the video, don't forget, hit the thumbs up. Helps out the channel a great deal. And if you've not already subscribed, why not hit that subscribe button? We'd absolutely love to have you. So first of all, Sony have sort of blinked first. We had the trailer the other day for Kraven the Hunter. That was coming out October the 6th this year. That's now been pushed back all the way to August the 30th, 2024, almost a full year. Bad news for the sort of two people that were looking forward to it. I say on a tangent, I don't really know what Sony are doing with these Spider-Man villain movies that don't feature Spider-Man. Obviously, we had a couple of Venoms, and then we had Morbius that sort of sank without a trace. Now we've got Kraven the Hunter. The trailer didn't really do much for me. Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to sort of still get their Sinister Six sort of film together. The trailer for Kraven also featured Rhino. As I say, I'm not entirely sure what it is they're going for. I sort of imagine every now and then some Sony execs go to Kevin Feige and say, "Oh, look, Kevin, we let you use Spider-Man for a little bit. Please, can we have Spidey back to appear in one of our movies so we can fight some of these mediocre villain films we're doing?" And I think Feige just says, "Yeah, no, not yet." And so Sony just go away and churn out another Spider-Man movie that doesn't feature Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm not sure what Sony are doing there. They should just stick to their animated Spider-Verse movies, which we'll come on to in a minute. One really annoying one is the Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. Tentatively called Firehouse. I think that's the working title. I don't know if that will actually be what it ends up being. That was December the 20th. That has moved to March the 29th next year. So not too long, just sort of a 3-month delay. I did wonder how they were going to get that out in the first place. Anyway, it only finished principal photography, I think it was at the beginning of July. December did seem quite a sort of rush release for it. Obviously, a lot of effects work to do in post-production on a Ghostbusters film. So yeah, I'm not surprised that one has gone back. And then the aforementioned Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. This one's really annoying. It was coming out March the 29th next year. It's now been pulled from the slate completely, so we don't have a date on that at all, which is a real shame because the last film was absolutely fantastic, and if you've seen it, you'll know it ended on a big cliffhanger, and I need to know what happens to Spidey next. But alas, we'll have to wait to some non-determined date in the future. Moving on to Disney, Deadpool 3, that they've sort of stopped production on that completely. That was May the 3rd next year. We don't know what that's been pulled, but we don't know till when. And the problem, obviously, with the Marvel stuff is they plan it all in advance and have so many of them filming together. So that would have a knock-on effect. You've got Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts meant to be coming out next year as well. So expect them to get put back as well. The Marvels is still coming November the 10th. They haven't pulled that. See, one of the main problems is they're pulling these films, even though all the stuff that's already has completed production is, the stars won't be available to promote the movies. But yeah, Disney is sticking with the Marvels in its November release date. So they're obviously hoping the strike will get settled way before then, or they think that maybe that the MCU obviously is such a well-known name that they can get away with maybe not promoting that film as much. But we will see with that one. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2 was June the 28th next year. That has now been delayed. No date given. Obviously, Part 1 in the cinemas at the moment. Another film that doesn't really have sort of a proper ending, making us want Part 2. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a bit longer for that. Poor Things. The Yorgos Lanthimos, if you're not familiar with him, he won the director for The Favourite. He's done some great films like Dogtooth and The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, all things like that. Love his stuff, very absurdist, very good. Poor Things is based on a book. It's got Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe. That was September the 8th. That's been put back till the 12th of January, so not too long on that one. Some TV stuff, obviously Stranger Things, the final season, and Umbrella Academy, the final season. I think production's obviously halted completely. I think Umbrella Academy had pretty much finished filming. Stranger Things, I think, was only, I don't even know if that had even started. So I suspect they were both coming out next year. Yeah, I say, depending on how long the strike goes on for, they will get definitely put back, which is a real shame. And then there are some rumors. I don't usually report rumors on this channel. I don't want to. I didn't want the channel to be, just reporting on every single bit of speculation that crops up on the internet. That 9 times out of 10 turns out to be a load of garbage. No bait, no hate, being our motto here. But there is sort of increasing rumors about Warner Brothers possibly pulling nearly all of its autumn slate that seemed to be gaining traction. So it wouldn't surprise me. Dune 2 being the big film, November the 3rd. Such a huge cast: Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, we've got Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, amongst many, many others. And, that's a huge A-list cast that you would want to wheel out in front of the cameras to promote your film. So, yeah, I wouldn't surprise to see that move to next year. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, another one of their big films. Well, I say big films, obviously the first Aquaman inexplicably did over $1 billion. Now, obviously, the Snyderverse as it was is now basically dead. Everyone's waiting for James Gunn and his Superman Legacy to reboot the DC universe in 2025. I think that is, obviously, if that doesn't get delayed. So yeah, Aquaman. I imagine to begin with, they were, Warner Brothers, when they greenlit that film, thought that was going to be another $1 billion. Who knows now? It's already been delayed several times. It's apparently had lots of reshoots, and then it was meant to come out before The Flash, and The Flash was meant to be this sort of multiverse affair that was then meant to sort of put a cap on that DC universe, and say let James Gunn carry on with his. Obviously, we've had The Flash; it flopped, didn't do anything at all. I suspect Aquaman will go the same way, and I wouldn't surprise to see that get delayed until next year. So we're getting to the point where, a bit like with COVID, where stuff, well, even back in COVID, stuff was still getting produced just very slowly. Now that did bump up the budgets on a lot of stuff, things like Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and of course Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Their budgets ballooned to about 300 million each, which makes it incredibly hard for them to sort of make any sort of profit. And apparently a lot of that was due to sort of a lot of the precautions they had to take whilst filming during COVID. But obviously with the strike, nothing's getting done at all. So if it continues for any length of time, the knock-on effect will probably be in about a year's time. There's going to be a whole dearth of stuff coming to the cinema, which is a real shame. Hopefully the unions and the studios will come to some agreement shortly. So yeah, that's just a few of the films that we know that have definitely been delayed. As I expect others to follow suit the longer the strike rumbles on. But that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. And until next time, eat, geek, and be merry.